First question, coach, is from Gary Washburn.
Hey, Brad, how do you just explain this one? It just seemed like you guys never got the offensive flow, and then defensively, Kevin Love got hot, and you guys couldn't do anything about it. What happened tonight with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, obviously going into the game, matchups with Love were going to be an issue, and matchups with Sexton, I thought. And both those guys, Sexton got to the rim, got into the paint, although I thought we did a decent job on him. But Love had a great game from behind the line. 70% of his shots coming in this year were from behind the line. He's not posting near as much. And so we missed some switches. We missed some opportunities to get into his airspace, and he made us pay.
Next question is from Keith Smith.
Brad, you said pregame that you guys would get together in the next day or so to discuss. Does this loss change things from your mindset at all for how to handle the last two regular season games?
Yeah, it'll all be position-based, Keith. I thought that obviously, unfortunately, we had some guys that we traveled that thought might be able to play that weren't, but we didn't want to change our plan of attack otherwise. But we got to look at it now and figure out what the best mode of attack is. I've never been through this from the standpoint of, a play-in tourney and the quick turnaround. So we do have to be mindful of that on our higher minute players.
John Corrales.
Brad, the defense, you talk about like missed rotations. There were a lot of plays down the stretch where guys ended up getting wide open layups. Is that just something that, I guess the question is that correctable at all? Is this something that was just because this is an unusual group?
A couple of drives, they got to the rim, a couple of cuts late in the clock. A couple of times we wound the shot clock all the way down to 5-6, and they got there late. And then a couple of poor closeouts on drivers, and then they got there and made it difficult. Love's three-point shooting probably made us a little bit more anxious to the guard at the line, but we didn't do a good job of closing out necessarily the individuals that are probably more driving oriented. Listen, we haven't been perfect. I thought that we had some really good possessions there at different times of the game, but just could never string enough of a run together on either end to separate when things were going a little bit better for us and to stay within reach at the end.
Tom Westerholm.
Hey, Brad. Jalen posted a photo in a cast. I was just wondering if you know or if you can confirm whether he had his surgery today.
He did have his surgery today. Went well. Every report out of the surgery is very positive.
Gary Washburn.
Brad, did you sense, was tonight about just lack of execution, or did you sense in the fourth quarter guys were tired? What happened in the final period when it just seemed like you guys let go of the rope?
Well, I think it was as much about them, Gary. I thought they played well. They have a lot of good players out there. Sexton has been very difficult all year. Love's been obviously hasn't played as much, but is playing more of late. And then Allen's a problem in the paint. Okoro's a good player. Like, it's more about them. Like, I think that they did a good job of that. I don't want to blame this on fatigue. I don't want to blame it on anything else. They deserve more credit than that. And, we, as John mentioned, we didn't balance guarding Love at the three-point line or the rim well on others. And then on the other end of the floor, I thought we got a little jump shot happy at times. And, that's, again, when we went into our ruts.
Final question is from Bob Schron, Coach.
That's Jeff. Hi, Coach. Can I just follow up on John's question about about defense?
Sure.
Is there with the chemistry, the moving parts? I know I've asked you about that before. Is there a short-term solution or strategy with in terms of coverages and things like that that you can talk to the guys?
It's a fine line, Bob, right? You want to, try a bunch of different things in a game, but we have so many guys that are young that need to be good at the basics. And, we're not. And so every rep with the basics is very important. And we don't need all of those guys to be playing next Tuesday, but we need one or two of them to be in there and playing. And obviously Tatum and a couple of the guys that are going to play big minutes. And, you're looking for that. You're looking for guys that will separate themselves just by doing their jobs hard and well and reliably on that end of the court, because that's what we're going to need. We have not been consistent in that regard. And, it's one of the reasons why we're where we are. And I think that's probably the most disappointing thing to me about our season. It hasn't been our, anything more than just we could be better defensively. We could be more physical defensively. We could be more connected defensively. And if we lose guys for any given amount of time, then we should be able to still defend. And, this team hasn't been.
Thanks, Coach. We'll wrap it up right there.